Hello everyone, in today's video I'll be talking to you about the pros and cons of using LEETcode, which is a IT freelance service in Japan. I think it's the largest service of freelancing IT and also getting a job in IT in Japan. So this video I'll be just talking about the freelance side of things. So if you don't know about me, I've been working IT freelancing since 2019. I've been in IT in Japan since 2016. So the past 5 years now, I've been working mostly with Japanese companies, working on web development, mostly front end, but also sometimes back end. So I've been all over the place and I've gone through different types of companies. I've been direct to client. I've also been through systems or web services like LEETcode. So today's video, I'll be focusing on LEETcode freelance. In this video, I'll show you some example front-end and back-end web development freelance projects, how much you can be making, and I myself am making quite a decent amount for Japan standards. I'll also after that be showing you the process of from having no project to being in a project, and then after that I will show you the pros and cons, the first with the pros and then with the cons of my experience of working with these types of agencies. Specifically this agency, it is probably the best agency in Japan right now. So like, sub, and check out my Discord link. My Discord link is one for general engineers in Japan, and another one which is not yet released is for IT freelance workers in Japan. And by the end of this video, I hope you can decide whether this service is the right fit for you. And if not, I'd like to introduce you my service, which I am currently working on in my spare time. And just to let you know, I am no way sponsored or have any type of affiliation with this company besides using its service. So I'm not glazing it, but I do highly recommend it for people who have been in Japan for a few years and have decent Japanese. But I do highly recommend this service. So let's get into it. So now I'm at the freelance website here. We're just going straight to have a look at the top types of jobs you can get, the top types of projects you can get. And I just put in front-end engineer there, and you see we're getting some projects that go up to 125 man per month as a freelance. This one's in Tokyo, Otemachi. So this is probably one of the higher end projects. I don't make this much of, I don't get these types of projects, not yet. But we go down, as you see, it goes down to around the 90 to 80 man area. So there's a lot of 95 man for, okay, that's Ruby on Rails. We're looking at Node.js and React, TypeScript, React, a lot of React and Next.js, Ruby, no, Angular, React, Vue.js, React, Vue.js. So we're looking at around the 90 man area. And if you, I don't have the graph here, but the stats is the average engineer on this platform makes around 90 man to 80 man per month. And so in some cases here, I'm just quickly showing you this one, it also allows foreigners. We're just looking right now at the pricing, 85 man. And a lot of these projects might ask for a few years experience, or people who have experienced over 5 years for a back-end engineer. Front end 5 years. So if you're over the 5 years mark, this is a great website, web service, or freelance service for you. But I just wanted to show you generally the average price range. We're seeing a lot of 80 man around, and this is generally around what I make per month through LEETcode. Not so bad, right? If you think about it, you can get away with some 3 years plus. But in general, I would say you need about around 5 years experience, which is why many of the engineers on this LEETcode are over the age of 30, the majority. I've sorted this list by pricing, and it seems that even after the 17th pagination, is that what you call it, of the page, 17th page, there's still 95 man projects as front-end engineer. So this is there are a lot of projects on here. I just want to show you how much people are getting paid freelancing through this service. This is a great service. Look at it. Look at it. I'm not getting paid by them. But good luck going to a dev company in Tokyo and asking them this much per month. Good luck. I'm going to show you the process via the main website of LiveTech, freelance.livetech.jp. And it says it's the #1 site for registered engineers as freelancers. The 3 main points that they talk about is that there are many projects. I just showed you before, there are many high-paying projects, and you can increase your fee. I personally, I'm getting paid quite decent, I think. You know, I'm not retiring anytime soon, but compared to working as a wagee, I cannot make that much in a normal IT company in Japan, a Japanese company, maybe a foreign company. But remember, there's 2,000 people trying to get that job all around the world. There are many types of projects in terms of the conditions. Some of them you can be full remote. Some of them you have to be in the office once a week. Some of them you can work only once a week. In my case, I'm full remote. They tried to make me go twice a day to the office, but I said no. So some of these conditions are negotiable. And we're just going to go through the basics of the process. I'll quickly, to make it easier for you to read, I'll quickly translate this page to English. And then there's a how to use in English. So the membership is free. You go onto the website, you put in your name, address, and all that stuff. What happened with me was after I registered, once they see let's say you have a few years experience or 5+ years experience working in IT, they have agents inside the company or managers, and they will, if you leave your cell phone or email, they will aggressively try to get you onto a project. I mean, in a good way. They really want to get you into a project ASAP. So they will try and get a hold of you. They'll talk to you in Japanese, of course, all Japanese, and then they will say you can yourself look for the projects you want, or you just tell them what you want, because as you saw before, there's a lot of projects there, and they'll give you a list of projects that you might be interested in. Then you apply. Okay, you apply for that project, and then once you apply for that project, if their client, because it's not your client, if that company is interested, you'll have a meeting. You'll have 1 meeting with LiveTech, maybe 2, but I had only 1. After the 1 meeting with LiveTech, I chose a project. That project's, let's say, team will be in a meeting. You'll have a meeting with the client, the team client. 1 meeting in my case. You'll have a meeting. I applied for 2 projects and I had 2 meetings. Once you have that meeting, that 1 meeting, they might do some code testing in that interview or ask you some technical questions. If that's an A-OK, the contract will start. Once the contract starts, the manager, the agent, would always be in contact with you if there are any issues. And that's the process from membership registration to being in a project. So who is this service for? I have to be straight up. Most of you watching, this is not for you. I'll be honest. The reason being is they want at least 5 years. Some of them 3 years. They also want someone who speaks Japanese. In my case, I've got a link to my video. I showed you the level of my Japanese, and maybe it was my worst day to show you my Japanese skills, but I'm able to continuously extend the current project, which means that my Japanese is enough. Maybe it's like giri safe, maybe just safe enough for this. So you need to be able to speak Japanese. You need to have 5 years plus experience. There are some people in my community currently using this service, getting paid a lot more than I am. And then there's also one person I heard that having a highly skilled visa, he wasn't able to get a project through LiveTech. So depending on the visa as well, I'm guessing just a general working visa would be enough. Remember, in my videos, I never tell you this is easy. I do say it could be quite difficult for you. But in my case, it was kind of easy to get a project. I have to be honest. I had 2 interviews. Both of them, I'm not sure if they went well or not, but I tried my best. One of them had an actual coding test during the interview, which I was not ready for, but I was asked to make a function that would translate for their service. The second interview, I didn't have to code, but I have to explain to the lead engineer how I would go at making a certain feature. And I didn't have code in front of me. I just had to speak in Japanese, how I would make a type of reusable code in React. So this type of question made me have to explain how a React hook would work, or I would have to explain how state would be updated and rendered or re-rendered in a child component, in a reusable component. So that was that kind of test. Those two interviews both had not only personality checks, a check of my work history. They were asking me questions. You can check my LinkedIn, I've got quite a bit of work history there. And then also programming coding questions. So both of those interviews I passed, but I chose one of the other ones I chose because it just felt nice, and I really liked the company what the company was doing. I can't share that information because it's not my client, it's LevTech's client. Hey, if you really like this type of conversation, this is all I talk about every day. This is all I do. This is all I do is talk about. I love talking about freelancing in Japan. Check out the Discord. I'm going to make our own private Discord server for freelance engineers in Japan. You have to have a bit of experience though. And then also check out my LinkedIn as well. I always post my YouTube videos and comments there. And I'm not going to talk about base stuff on there, don't worry. And make sure you check out dev-ippo.com. That's my new website. I'm going to have all my web service and things like that. Not web service, but you know what I mean. So I've got a list of the pros and the cons. I'll go over the pros. The first pro is this. You have one interview and then you get the project. That was my experience. And they even say that on the project, how many interviews you need to go through and actually get the project. The next one is I didn't leet. There's no leeting. These are some of the largest companies in Japan, and they didn't LeetCode test me. And some of you Westerners are there are fuming because you did 7 interviews just to get a wagey job when they're paying this much to me. I'm kind of confused about this. I don't know. You tell me, guys. Some people out here have completely different experience to me. Okay, the next one is great support. If you speak English, and if you're working at LevTech and you guys are great. Like, I'll tell you this, they help you with a skill sheet. The service has an invoice system. The timesheets inside the system as well. You log in. The staff are friendly, nice staff. They're understandable. They talk to you. So I'm really happy with the manager that's looking after me. She's great. Good work. Okay, the next one is visa help. They don't exactly help you with your visa, but I have my immigration lawyer. So if you're interested, maybe I'll just add a link in description of my immigration lawyer who helps me. She works together with LevTech to make sure my working visa can be extended, and it's currently being extended. So there is support for visa. As you saw before, there are many projects, too many projects. It's hard to decide. So that's a pro. That's great. So much work. Why should I apply to a massive company that's going to pay me a little less or even the same amount and go through 5, 6, 7 interviews? Hey, that's the freelance life. Another one, high pay. You saw the pay there. And I know you guys, your Silicon boys are calling us poor and all that, but it's pretty good. That's a great income. That's amazing. You can, I'm not getting stabbed on the streets. I don't have homeless people running around, It's a safe area. Maybe there's an earthquake tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe there's an earthquake, but same, good income. For New Zealand, it's great. It's great income. And the last one I would like to say is that I'm in a team that's really smart guys. So I feel that if you go through different teams, or these are some of the largest companies in Japan, are really smart guys, smart kids, smart older guys. You have to level up yourself a lot more. I've worked on some freelance projects when I was by myself, and you can just slack off in some bits, and it looks good. Everything looks good to me. It looks good to me. But when you're working with these larger companies, and some of them these projects are pretty decent, so you kind of had to be a little more strict on what you push, what you commit. That's something it's a good thing. because you level up. I've leveled up quite a bit. Now I'm going to go through some of the cons I wrote down here. There's no English projects here. I've never seen any. I think there aren't any. If there are, you have to speak a high level of Japanese and speak English, or you speak 2 or 3 languages at once. So if you want to only speak English, you best to go to work in the IT, like Tokyo Dev or Japan Dev. Those are the English speaking jobs. This is going to trigger some of the guys in the comments here, some of the viewers. There's no English jobs. Sorry, you just have to learn Japanese. Look, I'm trash, but I'm trying. Got to trigger some of you guys out there that people don't speak English, and most of the world doesn't speak English. Silicon boys there. Had enough of you. Had enough. Yeah, the guy's N5. Yeah, N5. Cool, man. Good luck. Good luck. Another one is middleman. This one's quite important to understand, and it's not your client. This is not Levitek is your client. Then the company you're working for is Levitek's client. So because of that, you can't really put that on your resume that client's project. You can't write that down. I'm pretty sure you can't. Or maybe someone's going to check me and go, actually. But from my understanding, I cannot. I can just say I worked for Levitek, which is why my LinkedIn, I write that. And this is also means it's bad for what we call biz dev, right? Is it biz dev? Is that what you call it? It's bad for your business. If you're a freelance guy, you want to go directly to the CTO, CEO, whoever. You want to go to the HR directly. I can't do that. I'm not directly connected to these people. Levitek is in charge of everything. So what that means is that, for example, my project, I don't know if they want to hire me past September. Maybe they do. I'm not in this conversation with them. They're with Levitek talking that. So it's a bit touch and go. And that might be a bit scary for some people, because it means that you'd have to find a project 2 months prior to the current project ending, which is my case right now. But if you're a cheap person like me, you save quite a bit, and it's not so bad. But still, it's something to be wary of. Another one is that, let's say you get paid 80 man or 70 man, 90 man. You have to ask yourself now, how much is Levitek getting paid? How much is their commission? Maybe they're getting 20 man, 30 man more. So you're essentially missing out on 20, 30 man per month. You're missing out on 20, 30 man per month, which is a lot of money. That's a lot. That can pay your rent. That can pay your mortgage. They pay for your kids to go to the $40,000 English, $20,000 a year international school. So it's a lot of money you're leaving on the table there. But because they're the middleman, they have to get their cut. Another one now is triggers a lot of people here that most projects are probably not Gaijin OK, right? Let's be honest. And it's going to trigger some people because they think you must take me into your company and speak English and DEI everything, and these people, some of them want to, oh my goodness, these people are, they're in their own bubble. They're in their own bubble. But just trying to say here is that some companies they just don't know how to handle foreigners, or they're not really experienced in that. It's fine. You just have to understand that most of the jobs are not Gaijin OK. But in my case, even though I might not have the greatest Japanese, it's all in Japanese. I speak it enough to do a programming job or explain myself on how I would create a feature or something, or if I have an issue or bug, I can explain myself. Because they saw my experience in Japanese companies, there's a level of trust. So you have to work that out yourself. You have to work a few Japanese companies maybe to get trust in Japan. So now I'll give you my final impression of the whole. I've been working for a Levitek project for over 5 months now. September will be my 6th month. So I'll tell you what I really think about LiveTech. I think it's great for what they do. It's free to join. They have so many projects. They pump it into your face, and they really get you to get into a project. If you have the skills and experience, they're going to really push you to get into it. For people like me, who I've been here since 2010, I can just keep using LiveTech. I'm good. They hire people past 40. I've seen the numbers on it. People over 40 still getting paid. Some people are 50 still getting paid working IT freelance. So yeah, I know a lot of guys in my community who have quite a few years experience in IT, way smarter than me, better Japanese than me. Hey, give it a shot, man. It beats trying to battle 200 people to work for a fintech company and speaking English. That's just, I respect all these companies here in these English speaking companies, but man, that's tough competition. Did you see how many projects there were? But yes, this is not most people. That's the part which I just want to stress, that most people do not, even if you have N2, you cannot communicate in Japanese. And then most of you don't have 5 years plus programming or coding actual projects. I'm not talking about support tech or I used to do some Python. No. I'm talking, did you work on a project and from scratch to deployment in 6 months or 8 months or 1 year? Did you work on these types of projects? If you worked in this type of project and you were a main part of that project, like let's say maybe you don't have to be lead, but you were creating reusable components. When the clients had problems, you had to fix the bugs. If you're in these types of projects for a few years, at least 3, you can go straight into LiveTech projects. So if you are a bit of a noob, I recommend you do a few hard years at a Japanese IT company. And I know half of you already just want to quit right now, but you have to do a few hard years, at least 3, and then you're worth a lot more in Japan. And life gets a lot easier. Trust me, I know. And I'm not even a top guy, so just to let you know. Hey, but before you go, I just want to plug in check this one out. So this is my new service. I don't even know why I call it service. This is my website. It's called dev-ippo.com. I just started it a week ago or so. Hey, I'm just starting this thing, and it's all about freelancing IT in Japan. I will have some news there, some articles. My last article was how freelance changed my life and why I'll never be employed again. This is coming soon, so connect with me. I'm going to be having a Discord community private for freelance engineers in Japan, and I'll be showcasing your profile. Yep, your profile in my community. So if you want a fukugyo or freelance, I'm going to be putting all you guys' faces, but you have to have a bit of experience. I'm not going to get a boot camp grad. It's really hard to sell you guys. So but I'm going to put you on this dev community, and then I'll be promoting you through LinkedIn. Everyone's going to know I've got the SWAT team. Is that what you call it? The A team. We've got the A team, and then coming soon. So I'm preparing. Okay, everything's all coming together now. These are examples of projects I'll be finding for you guys in Tokyo, in Japan, anywhere in Japan. If you're in Japan with a working visa, you want to earn an extra nijumon a month. Hey, isn't that nice? Just an extra nijumon a month. What about 2 months? You get rokujumon for 2 months, helping out a company with Golang, because they need someone who has experience in Golang. What about you want to go full-time freelancing? You see my videos, you see me going to Okinawa, enjoying my time. You see me, anyway, you're an app developer, you're a mobile app developer, maybe Android, and you want to make 7 a month for 6 months. That's what I want to do. This is all going together, putting it all together at dev-ippo.com, devippo.com. You can probably just Google search, it will come up. And this is what I want to start. So if you're interested in this stuff, like, subscribe, Discord, LinkedIn, and then yeah,